Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I know it's been quite long, and yeah, today I just thought I should make a content for us to catch up on broiler chickens. For those who are coming in for the first time, this is a channel where we showcase different kinds of agri products that you can bring. That is goats, pigs, chickens, cow, and of course I will also do other crops like cabbages, tomatoes, and so forth. Yeah, and the next content that I want to create is on how best you can raise ducks. I've got ducks that I do raise at the farm, and I had a challenge. I think for the past 8 months, they were not trying to start laying eggs after hatching their first batch. So we're going to someone's farm just to learn more from there. And I think those who are keen in terms of keeping ducks and the likes, you can join me on this venture to learn more on how you can raise ducks. Yeah, the price of course for ducks is as good as chickens on the market, and they've got quite demanding. Yeah, so today I just want to share a few tips on how best you can reduce your mortality in comes to chicken that are broilers. So I've written a book about broiler chickens, and I've put a couple of tips inside that can of course guide you on how best you can raise your chickens and how best you can reduce your mortality. So today I just want to share a few tips on how best you can reduce your mortality. That is on a week's chicks once we just get them, and then also at 4 weeks where we tend to experience a couple of mortality. You find that someone just complains or someone just calls you to say, okay, fine, my chicken just died at 4 weeks. What could be the reason of all those things? So today we'll just share those tips that you can also put across for you to learn more on how best you can control this mortality. So yeah, today I just want to share 10 basic tips on how best you can prevent your chicks from dying. These are 7 weeks to 14. So number one, like we shared, we talked about getting these chicks from a trusted supplier. So of course, when you trust someone, you definitely know that they can give you some fake products. And of course, if you know that these are legit, then you're good to go. So number one, get your chicks from a trusted supplier. Number two, inspect the chicks before you bring them to your hatchery. Inspect the chicks before you bring them to your hatchery, or inspect the chicks before you bring them to your poultry. Inspect the chicks before you bring them to your poultry. And then number three, provide flock with adequate brooding temperatures. Of course, in the book I've written much about brooding, where you tend to take care of these small chicks as if they're your own. So make sure the temperatures are right, when it's cold, when it's very hot. Of course, we've got a guide on how temperatures are supposed to be. So yeah, you need to do that perfectly. Then number four, keep drinkers and feeders clean all the time. Of course, you don't want to have bacteria around, and yeah, you don't want to have any diseases to smaller chicks. You know, chicks are vulnerable, they're more like babies. So by preventing all such, definitely you need to keep your drinkers and feeders as clean as possible to reduce any bacteria growth and the likes. Of course, you need to supply these bays with enough feed. Definitely, we look at this stage as the most critical stage. You need to give them as much as possible feed so that they grow, and of course they have a healthy life. Follow the medication and vaccination schedule. Of course, when you live in an area where there is a lot of infection and the likes, definitely you just need to keep up the vaccination timetable and all those things as advised by the vet. Keep your chicks active by playing with them. So of course, these chicks, they don't have to be dormant. You need to keep playing with them. You need to chase them up and down. They remain active, and of course, them being active, you're able to observe, okay, this one is okay, this one is not, and yeah, they tend to keep active that way and tend to eat a lot. Yeah, so these are the ways I wanted to share on chicks. Then also I also thought of sharing what you can do at 4th week. So you find a lot of people do complain in the 4th week to say, no, my chicks are dying. Of course, I don't even know the reason why. The temperatures quite alright, were quite cold, but I just found 5 had died in my chicken run. So basically, we see at 4th week, we see a chicken growing into a full meat. So there's a lot of changes that happens into a chicken, the metabolism reactions, and of course the chicken is becoming quite wet. The temperatures are kind of growing and all those things. So what do you need to put in place once at 4 weeks? So of course, one, we have written about controlling your feeding pattern. So when it's quite hot, yeah, you can take off a bit of feed, take off feed from there, so that you reduce metabolic reactions in the body, to cool them and all those things. To provide adequate water. So during this time around, you know, it's quite hot, water is a coolant, water will help in the metabolism reaction in the body and all those things. So make sure there's always water around and it's not very far. You know, these chickens are quite lazy, so make sure you provide them enough water. Then minerals and vitamins, of course. Yeah, there are issues like stress pack and all those things. You know, when it's very hot, they tend to get dehydrated, they tend to lose appetite and all those things. So the minerals and vitamins, of course, they're going to help these baits definitely boost up their system, cool off them, and have appetite. Yeah, of course, the other thing is that ventilation. Make sure there's proper ventilation in your chicken run so that there's circulation of air around. Definitely that is going to help you cool the beds around and keep them healthy. Then lastly but not the least, any stressful conditions should be avoided. Any stressful conditions, what I mean is at times that people do change, you know, you want to change the sodas during the day when it's quite hot, you start moving the beds up and down and all those things. Yeah, just avoid any stressful. Keep them as cool as possible. Just give them enough water and plenty of enough water around, and probably add a bit of ice and all that to keep them okay. So these are the tips that I just wanted to share with you, that I've included in my book about raising broiler chickens. Thank you very much.